Okay, so get this. Bitcoin just took a tumble down to like $98,012. And XRP slid by over 6%.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
So the crypto world is wild right now.
Yeah.
It's like every day there's some new headline.
Totally. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today.
Thanks, Fess.
You know, we're going to tackle Bitcoin and XRP.
Ooh, the big ones.
Yeah, you guys send in some really interesting sources about them.
Yeah, lots to dig into for sure.
Definitely. So are these two, like, rivals, allies? Are they playing completely different games?
Right. That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what's fascinating is they're both cryptocurrencies, obviously.
Right.
But they appeal to such different crowds.
Yeah.
And they operate on totally different principles.
Okay, interesting. So it's not really an apples-to-apples comparison, then?
No, not really. I mean, it's more like comparing a bustling city to a high-speed rail network.
I like that analogy.
Oh,
Okay, so let's start with Bitcoin.
No G.
Right? The granddaddy of crypto.
Exactly.
One of the sources called it both a blockchain and a currency. What does that even mean for someone who's not like a blockchain whiz?
So imagine a giant digital ledger
Okay.
that tracks every Bitcoin transaction ever made.
Okay.
That's the blockchain. It's a public, it's transparent,
Yeah.
and virtually tamper-proof because it's spread across this vast network of computers.
So it's like distributed?
Exactly, distributed.
Okay.
So then Bitcoin, the currency,
Yeah.
is what actually gets moved around on this blockchain.
Okay.
So every time you send or receive Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
it gets recorded on this ledger,
Gosh.
like a permanent digital receipt.
So it's all about creating a secure and transparent history.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do we ensure those transactions are legit?
Right.
You know, one of the sources mentioned this proof of work thing.
Proof of work.
Sounds intense.
Yeah, it is intense. It's like,
What is that?
think of it like a global digital gold rush.
Okay. Okay.
So you've got these miners with powerful computers.
Yeah.
They're racing to solve these really complex math problems.
Yeah.
And the first one to crack the code
Yeah.
gets to add a block of transactions to the blockchain.
Okay.
And they get rewarded with newly minted Bitcoin.
So it's like a reward for keeping the system going.
Exactly. A reward and an incentive.
Okay.
But here's the thing. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin in existence.
Wait, so the supply is limited?
It's limited. It's finite.
Wow. What happens when they're all mined?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
So to control the flow,
Mm-hmm.
the rewards that these miners get are halved every 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We just saw this happen in April 2024.
Recently?
Yeah, the reward dropped to 3.125 Bitcoin per block.
Okay.
So the harder it gets to mine Bitcoin and the fewer there are left,
Yeah.
the more valuable each Bitcoin becomes.
So it's like a built-in scarcity thing?
Yeah, it's a scarcity mechanism.
Wow, that's some serious economic engineering.
Yeah, it's designed to drive up value over time.
Okay, so we've got Bitcoin secure, scarce, and decentralized. Where does XRP fit into all of this?
Right, so XRP is interesting. Our sources say it's built for speed and low cost,
Okay.
which seems like kind of a direct challenge to Bitcoin's strengths.
Yeah, it does. How does that even work?
So XRP ditches that energy-intensive mining process.
The proof of work.
Yeah, proof of work. Instead, it uses something called the XRP Ledger Consensus Protocol.
Okay.
Much more efficient. Think of it this way. You've got a network of trusted validators.
Okay.
They're constantly polling each other to agree on the order of transactions.
So no more computational arms race.
Exactly.
Just swift agreement.
Swift, secure agreement. Yeah.
So it's like a high-speed voting system instead of this brute force math competition.
Exactly. It's a completely different approach.
Okay. I can see how that would make transactions faster.
Yeah, way faster.
But are we sacrificing something for that speed? Like, is it less secure?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So while it's a different approach to security,
Yeah.
the XRP ledger has a really strong track record. The key is this consensus mechanism allows for incredibly fast transaction confirmations.
How fast are we talking?
We're talking like 3 to 5 seconds.
Wow.
And incredibly low fees.
That's got to be a game changer for businesses.
Yeah, for businesses, individuals who need to move money quickly and cheaply,
Right.
it's a big deal.
Okay, so it seems like we have two very distinct players here. Bitcoin, the secure and scarce digital gold,
Mm-hmm.
and XRP, the speedy and affordable transaction facilitator.
I like that. Yeah.
But how do they really measure up head-to-head? I mean, our sources get into some pretty granular comparisons.
Yeah, you do. This is where their philosophies diverge, I think.
Okay, how so?
So Bitcoin's proof of work is all about open participation.
Right.
But reaching consensus takes time and energy. It prioritizes decentralization and security above all else.
Uh-huh. And XRP.
XRP is built for speed and efficiency. It relies on this network of trusted validators
Yeah.
to very rapidly agree on the validity of transactions.
Okay. It's fascinating to see how these different approaches to consensus play out in the real world. Yeah. Like, for example, what about transaction costs?
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, how do those compare?
This is where XRP really shines. You only pay a tiny fraction of an XRP for each transaction.
Oh, wow.
And then that little piece of XRP is burned.
Burned. What does that mean?
It's permanently removed from circulation.
Oh, wow.
So it keeps the system running smoothly. It prevents spam.
Interesting.
Bitcoin, on the other hand,
Hmm.
it relies on transaction fees that can fluctuate wildly.
Really?
Oh, yeah, depending on network congestion.
Wow.
Sometimes those fees can be pretty hefty, especially during peak times.
So XRP is the clear winner when it comes to transaction speed and cost.
On paper, at least.
Yeah, at least on paper. But is there a downside to this burning mechanism?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
Does it create an artificial scarcity that could backfire?
Right.
It's something to keep an eye on for sure. But so far, the system's been quite stable.
Okay.
It's a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
XRP prioritizes speed and efficiency.
Uh-huh.
Bitcoin prioritizes security and decentralization. It all comes down to what you value most in a cryptocurrency.
Yeah. What are your priorities?
Exactly.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. It's not just about comparing speeds and fees.
No.
It's about understanding the underlying philosophies.
Right, the different philosophies at play.
Yeah, so besides consensus mechanisms and transaction costs, what other key differences stand out?
So one that often gets overlooked is tokenization.
Tokenization?
Yeah, the XRP ledger, where all those super fast XRP transactions happen.
Yeah.
It can actually be used to represent a wide range of assets.
Really?
Not just cryptocurrency. We're
Yeah.
talking stocks, bonds, even real estate.
Wait, so you're saying XRP can tokenize things beyond just digital currency?
Exactly. It allows for a lot more flexibility and innovation.
That seems like it opens up a whole world of possibilities.
It does.
Wow.
Bitcoin, on the other hand, primarily focuses on being a store of value, a medium of exchange for Bitcoin itself.
So it's more about being that digital gold equivalent.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, so XRP is thinking bigger, aiming to become this platform for a wider range of digital assets.
It's ambitious.
That's pretty ambitious.
Yeah, but remember, Bitcoin has this massive head start
Oh, yeah, of course.
and this level of brand recognition. That's hard to beat.
Totally.
So while XRP might have a wider scope, it's still playing catch-up in terms of market dominance.
Right, so they're both vying for a place in the future of finance.
Yeah,
But taking very different paths to get there.
for sure.
Speaking of market dominance, what's the current scorecard? I mean,
Yeah.
which one is winning the popularity contest, at least for now?
Right now, Bitcoin is still wearing the crown.
Okay.
It has a significantly larger market cap.
Right.
So that's the total value of all Bitcoin in circulation. And its price per coin, it dwarfs XRP.
Yeah.
But remember, those crypto markets are as unpredictable as a roller coaster.
You're telling me we saw that this week
Exactly. We saw it this week.
with Bitcoin's sudden drop.
Big drop.
Yeah, so it's a dynamic landscape and things can shift quickly.
Oh, for sure.
But how do these currencies even get into circulation? Is it the same for both?
That's another fundamental difference.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So remember those Bitcoin miners we talked about?
Yeah. The one solving the math problem?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're slowly introducing new Bitcoin into circulation
Uh-huh.
through those block rewards, which get halved every 4 years. Remember?
Right.
It's a slow and steady release.
Okay.
It's designed to control inflation.
Makes sense. XRP is different.
XRP is very different.
Uh-huh.
All 100 billion XRP were created right from the start.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A company called Ripple holds a big chunk of that supply.
Okay.
And they periodically release XRP from these special escrow accounts.
Interesting. What are those for?
So it's to fund their operations
Okay.
and support the XRP ecosystem.
So Bitcoin's new coins trickle in like a slow drip.
Yeah, like a slow drip.
And XRP started with a big bang.
Yeah, big bang.
That's a pretty stark contrast.
It is. And it sparked a lot of debate in the crypto community.
Right.
Yeah, some people see Ripple's control over XRP as a centralization red flag,
Oh, interesting.
while others view it as a necessary step for managing the currency
Right.
and promoting its development.
So it's a question of control versus decentralization.
Yeah, that's a big debate.
I can see both sides of that argument for sure.
Yeah.
But speaking of growth, what's the current state of the crypto market?
Oh, things are definitely heating up.
Yeah.
We've got U.S.-China trade tensions, spooking investors.
Uh-huh.
Coinbase demanding regulatory clarity,
Yeah.
and even whispers about a potential U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. Let's dive right in. Starting with Bitcoin's recent tumble.
Yeah, to $98,012.
Ouch. What's driving that downward trend?
Well, according to one of the articles you sent, it seems like those U.S.-China trade tensions, they're
Yeah.
making investors nervous.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they're pulling back from riskier assets like crypto.
Uh-huh.
They're seeking safer havens
Right.
until the storm clouds clear.
So it's like a flight to safety.
Exactly. Classic flight to safety response.
But while Bitcoin might be taking a hit, this call for regulatory clarity from Coinbase could be a huge win for the crypto world in the long run.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Coinbase is a major player,
Huge.
and their push for clearer guidelines for banks could finally break down some of those barriers to wider adoption.
I agree.
Banks are hesitant to get involved without knowing the rules of the game.
Yeah, totally.
So this could be the nudge they need.
It's a bit of a chicken-egg problem, though, isn't it?
How so?
Banks want clear regulations before they jump in. But widespread adoption might be needed to push regulators to create those rules in the first place.
Right. It's a delicate dance.
It is.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
For sure.
But while we wait for the regulatory landscape to settle, there's another big legal battle unfolding that's got everyone talking.
Oh, yeah.
The SEC lawsuit against Ripple.
Big one.
That's creating some serious uncertainty for XRP, isn't it?
No doubt about it.
So what's the deal with that?
Well, the SEC claims XRP is an unregistered security,
Okay.
which Ripple vehemently denies. This legal tug-of-war has been dragging on for a while now.
Right.
And the outcome could have a huge impact on XRP's future.
So it's a wait-and-see situation for XRP.
For now, yeah.
But in the meantime, we've got companies like MicroStrategy betting big on Bitcoin, stockpiling it like it's digital gold.
I know, it's crazy.
What's driving that corporate enthusiasm?
So MicroStrategy's CEO, Michael Saylor, he's a major Bitcoin advocate.
Okay.
He sees it as this long-term store of value, and he's been aggressively buying it as part of his company's treasury strategy.
Wow.
And it seems like other companies are starting to follow suit.
Really?
Yeah, inspired by MicroStrategy's success.
So it's like a corporate seal of approval.
It is. Like, hey, if these big companies are doing it, maybe we should too.
Right, right.
Exactly. And if this trend continues, it could lead to a surge in demand.
Yeah.
And further drive up Bitcoin's value.
Wow. Okay, but amidst all this, there's another development that's even more intriguing.
Oh, yeah.
The talk of a potential U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve.
That's a mouthful.
I know, right?
Okay.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does.
The U.S. government hoarding Bitcoin. What's the rationale behind that idea?
So it's still in the very early stages of discussion.
Okay.
But the idea is to create this national reserve of Bitcoin, just like the U.S. holds reserves of gold and other strategic assets.
Okay, but why Bitcoin? What makes it a strategic asset?
Well, there are a few arguments floating around. Some say it's about diversifying national reserves.
Okay.
Others suggest it's about gaining influence in the global Bitcoin market.
Right.
And some even believe it's about preparing for a future where Bitcoin plays a much bigger role in global finance.
Wow, that's some next level thinking.
It is.
But I imagine there are plenty of people who think it's a terrible idea.
Oh, of course. Critics argue that holding a Bitcoin reserve would be way too risky.
Yeah.
Given its volatility. And they worry it could give the government too much control over a currency that's supposed to be decentralized.
So it's a classic debate about control versus freedom, stability versus innovation.
Exactly. And it's playing out in real time.
As the crypto world collides with the traditional financial system.
It is a collision.
So we've got trade wars, regulatory hurdles, legal battles, corporate endorsements, and a possible national Bitcoin reserve.
It's a lot.
Is it safe to say that the crypto world is anything but boring?
You get that right. It is never boring.
Okay, so before we get lost in all the exciting news and potential futures, let's take a step back and recap what we've learned about the core differences between Bitcoin and XRP.
Sounds like a plan.
It's been a whirlwind tour so far.
It has.
A little recap will help us make sense of it all.
Absolutely.
Before we dive even deeper into the crypto rabbit hole.
Let's do it. All right, so let's rewind for a sec.
Okay.
Zoom in on those key differences between Bitcoin and XRP.
Okay.
It's like we're comparing two distinct cities, each with its own infrastructure, rules culture.
I'm picturing it two crypto cities bustling with activity.
Exactly. So what's the vibe in Bitcoin City?
Yeah, what makes it tick?
So Bitcoin City, It's all about security and decentralization. Think Fort Knox
Okay.
meets like a bustling open-air market.
I like it.
Yeah, it's built on that bedrock of proof of work, right?
Yeah.
With those tireless miners constantly verifying transactions, maintaining the integrity of the city's ledger. It might be a bit slower paced.
Okay.
Transactions might cost a bit more.
Yeah.
But the residents, they value that unshakable stability and trust.
It sounds like a place where you'd feel safe storing your digital gold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A digital safe haven.
Okay, what about XRP City then? What's the energy like over there?
XRP City, it's like a futuristic metropolis with a super efficient public transportation system.
Okay.
Everything zips around at lightning speed.
I like it.
They've embraced that XRP ledger consensus protocol, right?
Yeah.
Allows for near instantaneous transactions at a fraction of the cost you'd find in Bitcoin City.
Interesting.
It's the place to be if you value speed, efficiency, and affordability.
So two very different approaches to city planning.
Yeah, very different.
It's like choosing between a historic city with a rich past and like a cutting-edge tech hub designed for the future. Both have their appeal,
Right.
but they cater to different needs.
For sure. And those differences go beyond just how transactions are processed.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about tokenization.
Right.
Well, Bitcoin City, it's pretty much a one-industry town
Okay.
focused on Bitcoin as a store of value,
Mm-hmm.
a medium of exchange.
Right.
XRP City, on the other hand,
Yeah.
diverse economic powerhouse,
Okay.
where a wide range of assets, from other cryptocurrencies to real-world assets,
Like what?
stocks, bonds,
Wow.
all that can be represented and traded on the blockchain.
So XRP City is a bit more cosmopolitan,
Yeah, I'd say so.
embracing a wider range of financial tools and opportunities.
It is. But it also brings up this key point of debate in the crypto world, right?
Yeah.
The question of decentralization.
Right.
Bitcoin City prides itself on its pure decentralized model.
Well.
No single entity calls the shots. But XRP City has Ripple,
Right.
a company that holds a significant chunk of XRP
Yeah.
and plays a more active role in managing the currency's development and distribution.
Ah, yes, the ripple factor.
Exactly.
Seems like that's a source of tension for some crypto enthusiasts
It is.
who believe in that pure ideal of decentralization.
They want that pure decentralization.
Yeah,
It definitely sparks debate.
I bet.
Some view Ripple's involvement as a necessary step to guide XRP's growth and adoption,
Right.
while others see it as a compromise on the core principles of a truly decentralized cryptocurrency.
It's a complex issue with valid arguments on both sides.
It is for sure.
But even in the most well-managed cities, there are bound to be challenges and uncertainties, right?
Of course.
What external forces are impacting these crypto cities?
So both Bitcoin City and XRP City, they're navigating a turbulent global landscape right now.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, we've got those escalating U.S.-China trade tensions.
Right.
They're casting a shadow over the global economy. And that uncertainty is rippling through the crypto markets.
It's a reminder that even in the digital world, we're not immune to real-world events.
Definitely not.
And speaking of the real world, there's a lot of talk about regulation or the lack thereof impacting the crypto space.
Huge issue.
What's the latest on that front?
So Coinbase, one of the biggest crypto exchanges,
Yeah.
they're urging U.S. regulators to provide clearer guidelines for banks that want to handle crypto.
Okay.
They argue that this lack of regulatory clarity is stifling innovation and hindering wider adoption.
It's like these crypto cities are trying to build bridges to the traditional financial world, but the fog of uncertainty makes it hard to see where those bridges should land.
Exactly. And then you've got the ongoing SEC lawsuit against Ripple,
Right.
adding another layer of complexity. This legal battle, it's all about whether XRP should be classified as a security, which would have huge implications for how it's regulated and traded.
So it's a case of innocent until proven guilty for XRP.
Yeah, for now.
But this uncertainty is definitely making some investors hesitant.
Understandably so.
But amidst all this regulatory uncertainty, we've also seen some major companies like MicroStrategy
Right.
going all in on Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're all in.
It's like they're planting their flag in Bitcoin City and saying, we're here to stay.
Exactly. They're not just dipping their toes in the water.
Right.
They're making Bitcoin a core part of their treasury strategy.
Interesting.
And this corporate endorsement, it's sending a powerful signal to other companies
Like what?
that Bitcoin is a legitimate asset class.
It's fascinating to see this shift in perception.
It is.
From Bitcoin being seen as this fringe digital currency to a potential pillar of corporate finance.
Yeah, it's a big shift.
And then there's that wild card we talked about earlier, the idea of a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve.
Oh, yeah. That one. That's a concept that really pushes the boundaries.
It does. It really does.
Of how we think about cryptocurrencies.
Imagine the U.S. government holding a stockpile of Bitcoin alongside its gold reserves.
Right. It's a bold move.
Very bold.
And it speaks volumes about how far Bitcoin has come.
It does, in terms of gaining mainstream recognition.
Yeah, it's almost like science fiction becoming reality.
It is. But as with any groundbreaking idea, there are bound to be strong opinions on both sides.
Of course. What are people saying?
So proponents, they argue that a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve would diversify national reserves.
Okay.
Potentially give the U.S. more influence in the global crypto market, and even pave the way for a future where Bitcoin plays a larger role in global finance.
Those are some compelling arguments, I have to say.
They are, but the critics are equally vocal.
Yeah, I bet. What are they saying?
They argue that holding a Bitcoin reserve would be way too risky, given its notorious volatility.
And they worry it could give the government too much control over a currency that's supposed to be decentralized.
It's that classic debate again.
It is.
Control versus freedom.
Yep.
Stability versus innovation.
Exactly. And it's playing out in real time as the crypto world collides with the traditional financial system.
So we've got Bitcoin aiming to be the digital gold standard, and XRP striving to become the backbone of this fast, efficient global payment system.
Two very different visions.
They are. But given all this market volatility, regulatory uncertainty, the potential for disruption, what does the future hold for these two crypto giants?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. It seems like we're at a crossroads.
We are.
With both Bitcoin and XRP facing unique challenges and opportunities.
Definitely. How do we even begin to predict where things are headed?
Right. It's tough to say.
Well, one thing's for certain. The future of crypto, it's inextricably linked to the evolution of regulation.
Okay.
How governments around the world choose to regulate cryptocurrencies.
Right. It's going to have a huge impact on their adoption, trading overall value.
So it's like these crypto cities need to find a way to coexist peacefully with the regulators.
They do. If they want to thrive in the long run.
It's a delicate balancing act.
It is. Too much regulation could stifle innovation.
Right.
Drive crypto enthusiasts underground. Too little could create a Wild West environment.
Right.
Ripe for scams and manipulation.
Nobody wants that.
No.
It's a complex challenge, but one that needs to be addressed if cryptocurrencies are to become truly mainstream.
I agree, 100%.
But beyond regulation, what other forces could shape the future of Bitcoin and XRP?
Well, technological advancements are always a wild card.
In what way?
New blockchain technologies, faster transaction speeds, innovative applications. All of that could emerge and completely disrupt the current landscape.
We're still in the early stages of the blockchain revolution.
We are. It's impossible to say what the future holds.
It's like an ongoing arms race.
It is.
With each cryptocurrency vying for dominance, constantly evolving to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. And then there's the ever-changing landscape of investor sentiment and market dynamics.
Right.
Bitcoin. It's already carved out its niche as a digital gold.
Yeah.
A safe haven in times of uncertainty. But XRP is still fighting to solidify its identity, gain wider acceptance.
So it's a battle for hearts and minds.
It is. As much as a battle for technological superiority.
Right. And let's not forget the ever-present potential for black swan events.
Oh, those are always lurking.
What are those again?
Those unexpected and unpredictable occurrences.
Okay.
That can shake up the entire system.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like a major cyber attack that undermines trust in cryptocurrencies.
Right.
Or a sudden government ban that sends shockwaves through the market.
Those would be big.
Huge. The crypto world is still relatively young and untested.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's always a degree of risk involved.
Makes sense.
But that's also part of what makes it so exciting.
The constant potential for disruption, innovation, and unexpected twists and turns.
Okay, so you've got regulation, technological advancements, investor sentiment, and the ever-present possibility of a black swan event.
Yep. It's a lot to keep track of.
It sounds like the future of crypto is anything but predictable.
You could say that.
But given all these factors,
yeah,
what are some of the potential scenarios for Bitcoin and XRP in the years to come?
Okay, so one possibility is that Bitcoin continues its upward trajectory,
Okay.
solidifying its position as the dominant cryptocurrency and the go-to store of value, much like digital gold.
So Bitcoin City becomes the undisputed capital of the crypto world.
It could. The financial center where everyone wants to invest.
Interesting. What about XRP in that scenario?
In that scenario, XRP could continue to build its reputation as a fast and efficient payment system,
Okay.
primarily used for cross-border transactions and financial settlements.
So XRP City becomes the bustling hub for global commerce.
It's possible, facilitating the smooth flow of money across borders.
While Bitcoin City reigns supreme as the safe haven for digital assets.
Yeah, like two sides of the same coin.
Interesting. Okay, so that's one potential outcome. What else?
Another possibility is that a new cryptocurrency emerges.
Oh, wow.
One that combines the best features of both Bitcoin and XRP.
Okay, so what would that look like?
So the security and decentralization of Bitcoin
Uh-huh.
with the speed and affordability of XRP.
So a hybrid crypto city.
Yeah, like a hybrid city.
Taking the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
And creating a new paradigm for digital currencies.
That would be a game changer.
It would. That's a huge possibility.
It is. And this new cryptocurrency, it could potentially become the dominant force in the market.
Wow.
Relegating Bitcoin and XRP to more specialized roles.
So the game could change completely.
It could. It's a reminder that in the world of crypto, anything is possible.
That's what makes this so exciting.
It is.
The potential for disruption,
Yeah.
the constant innovation, the challenge to the established financial order. It's a digital revolution unfolding before our very eyes.
It really is. But before we get too caught up in the possibilities of the future, let's take a quick pause to recap the key takeaways from our deep dive so far.
Okay, sounds good. It's been a whirlwind of information.
It has.
So it's worth taking a moment to synthesize what we've learned.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
All right, so let's rewind back to the beginning. Remember Bitcoin's little dip?
Yeah.
Probably triggered by those U.S.-China trade tensions?
Right. Those tensions are making everyone nervous.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even the digital world isn't immune to what's happening out there.
Definitely. And then there's Coinbase, that major crypto exchange. Remember, they're calling for clearer regulations for banks.
Right. They want banks to be able to handle crypto.
Exactly. But without clear guidelines, banks are hesitant.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for them.
It is. They want to know the rules before they jump in.
Makes sense. But then wider adoption might be what pushes regulators to create those rules.
Exactly. It's a chicken and egg situation.
Yeah. And while that's all unfolding, we can't forget about the SEC lawsuit against Ripple.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Definitely casting a shadow over XRP's future.
The outcome of that case could have huge implications.
Yeah, for sure. But amidst all that uncertainty, there are companies like MicroStrategy.
Right.
Just going all in on Bitcoin.
Yeah, stocking up.
Adding it to their balance sheets.
Yeah.
Like it's digital gold.
And you know what? That's a powerful signal to other companies.
It is. It's like a vote of confidence.
Exactly. Bitcoin is becoming more mainstream.
Definitely. And then we have the idea of a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve.
That's a wild concept, right?
It is. The U.S. government holding Bitcoin. Like it's some kind of national treasure.
I know. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is. It highlights how much recognition Bitcoin has gained.
It does.
Yeah.
Some people think it could even be strategic, you know?
Yeah, diversifying reserves.
Exactly. Gaining influence in the crypto market.
Even preparing for a future where Bitcoin is a major player in global finance.
Right. It's a long-term vision.
It is. But of course, not everyone's on board.
Oh, there are plenty of critics.
Yeah, they're worried about the volatility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And about giving the government too much control.
Right. It goes against the whole idea of decentralization.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're back to that tension.
Yeah. Control versus freedom.
Old versus new.
So what does all this mean for the future of Bitcoin and XRP?
Well, predicting the future of crypto is tough.
Yeah. It's like trying to predict the weather.
Right. There are so many factors at play, but we can look at the trends and think about the possibilities.
So what are some of the scenarios that could play out?
One possibility is that Bitcoin keeps rising.
Okay.
Becomes the dominant cryptocurrency.
Uh-huh. The gold standard.
Exactly. If regulation becomes more favorable and big institutions keep adopting it, Bitcoin could become a cornerstone of the global financial system.
So in that scenario, Bitcoin is king.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And in that future, XRP could find its own success.
How so?
By becoming the go-to for fast and efficient payments, especially for cross-border transactions. You know?
So it's like two different paths to success.
Exactly. Two sides of the same coin.
But there's always the possibility of a surprise.
Yeah, always. A new cryptocurrency could emerge.
Something we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. Something that combines the best of both worlds.
Or something completely new.
Right. And that could shake things up.
It's exciting and a little bit scary at the same time.
It is. The crypto world is full of surprises.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it so interesting.
Definitely keeps us on our toes. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
yeah,
we want to leave you with a question.
Okay, shoot.
Which cryptocurrency do you think holds more potential for the future?
Good question.
And why? It's not about picking a winner or loser.
No.
It's about understanding what's happening.
Right.
And forming your own opinion about this revolutionary technology.
Absolutely. We've given you the information.
Now it's your turn to explore and analyze.
And decide where you stand.
In this exciting world of digital currencies.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure.
It is. Thanks for joining us on this crypto adventure.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you've enjoyed it.
We'll see you next time.